are building up, and we are racing all the way down. Away we go, and it's a brilliant start from Dan Jackson. My goodness, Dan Jackson was the third fastest qualifier. He's leapt into the lead with a blistering start.
Yeah, Michael Watson also, he got a dreadful start going back. Glenn English there, just going around the outside. But as you say, Dan Jackson got a great start, and Graham Higlett as well. He looks like he might have even slipped up into the lead here.
Yeah, this is good. Graham Higlett, number 50, has managed to sneak through. So Graham Higlett, who was second on the grid initially, and it looked as though Dan Jackson was good, taking the advantage, but he's done really well. Jackson now in second place. They're being chased by Michael Russell with the green bike that was on pole.
Yeah, Michael Russell just went around the outside there of Levi Day, and he's up to third already.
Yeah, so this is looking like a good battle as we expected. Down into Lavant for the exit of this corner onto the longest straight of this Goodwood circuit. Everybody keeping it all under control so far. And in fact, number 7, Alex Sinclair's made up a lot of time. He started at the back. He's made up a lot of places already, so we'll see how far that goes. But here we are with the battle up front, and nothing to choose between Dan Jackson, who's got back in front, I think. Graham Higlett back down into second place, but under pressure from Jeffrey Vermeulen, number 36, who goes second now.
Yeah, nice. Dan Jackson there, just had the inside line, so made it really, really difficult. Obviously, we've got Dan Jackson on the TZ350, the 1980 bike, then we've got those 3-4 strokes in a row.
Yeah, it is all very, very close, but that is making a little bit of a break now for Dan Jackson. The Harris Yamaha TZ350, as you say, is definitely getting away a little bit. Is he going to be able to open it up all the way for the Gordon Spice Trophy Part 1? And away we go, and it's a good start from the middle of the front row, and it is a good start from Romain Dumas, as we thought, although he's on the grass now. So Jake Hill is the leader in the Capri as they go up into turn 1, but Romain Dumas, number 17, has moved up, not quite as far as I thought he was going to because he was on the grass, but he's in third place.
Jake Hill making a lightning start. He's dropped back actually as Romain Dumas. He was challenging Andy Priaulx, but Priaulx shut the door, but Priaulx is all over the back of Jake Hill. They go through the kink at Ford Water, lead up to St Mary's. It all looks fairly clean at the moment, but moves still on trying to be made as they head through. And look at this shot, all getting sideways, out of shape. Jake shutting the door on Andy Priaulx. As we look back on Priaulx now, the Chevy chasing Jake down in the Ford Capri. There's the Mustang kicking up a little bit of dust. Is there going to be contact, touring car style? Of course there is.
Well, let's hope not too much with these lovely classics. All down the inside. What a great move. Oh, don't get on the grass. They don't. That was beautifully done. And for the moment, Andy Priaulx's just sneaking in front, and he's got the good line when they get down to the next corner at Woodcote, because he's on the inside. But look at the speed of the Capri in a straight line. That's brilliant. If Jake can brake later, yeah, I think he can. He brakes a little later, gets it turned in, and holds on to the lead.
Slightly lighter Capri, more able to brake later down into Woodcote, but he's forming a train behind him. These two battling. The Chevy's going to have the legs on the Capri down the straight. The V6 power compared to the V8.
The board is being held up is how good, or more to the point, how poor will Mark Walker's be? Start from the front row. He's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. He's dropping down to 6 or 7. The beast Centurion is going to come past, and then the pole starter will have his work cut out. And a brilliant start from Ben Collins, got up into second place. But Julian Majou, middle of the front row. The Sunbeam in Indianapolis, thank you very much. Outside the front row, Rob Hobbard started third, is still third, but down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th position is Mark Walker. He's tucked in not too far behind the beast Centurion. Very, very different beast. He's making a move on. No, I tell you what, he's even further back.
An incredible sight.
Okay, what you need to look out for is the driver with the yellow leathers and the white helmet with the red stripe down the middle. There he is, car number 200, but he's really going to have to charge, not just to pass the first few cars. He's got to get off after Julian Majou, who's making his escape at the front of the field.
And he's got to make those passes safely with his open wheels, really heavy cars, very small brakes. I mean, you can see the size of the brakes, and they're only on the back wheels. So whilst everybody wants to have fun and be competitive, you've got to pass so carefully with these cars.
You know, there's so many little bits of information that come in an SF Edge race. You almost need to stand back and go, what do you mean they've only got brakes on the back wheels? Go with it. That's what the drivers have to do.
And banded brakes, you know, they're not big disc brakes. Some of these have got tiny... Ooh, a bit of a moment from James Collins. A bit of a tank slapper for him.
But just listen to the putt of these low-revving engines, but they've got so much torque. Mark Walker is about to pick up a position, or is he? No, he's going to have a little bit of caution. Oh. He's seen half a gap, and he doesn't normally need that much space. He just picked off 3 drivers. 3
abreast.
Well, he's a man in a hurry. He's always a man in a hurry. But when your race starts is only for 4 laps, and you know your car's going backwards, and so he's up to 3rd position. The next target is the Fiat S76 of Duncan Pittaway, the yellow and black helmet, inimitable across the years. But you can just see Mark Walker sort of hunkering down in the car, trying to get low. There's no chance of getting low, but he's trying to just swing with the car. But all along, haven't got to the end of the opening lap, he's going to be looking up the track. How far ahead is Julian Majou? Julian is already out of the chicane, accelerating beneath our commentary box, while having to be held up by the S76 is Mark Walker. Yes, you cannot see ahead when you're behind an S76 Fiat, but the big question, look at that sheer acceleration, the smaller, lighter, torquier.
The flag flies, we've got the race underway, and it's a good start from Richard Mines from that pole position in the GT40. What's the Ferrari going to do up on the outside? Can it dive in? No, it can't. Oh, and he actually gets squeezed out the way. So it's not a good start for David Franklin from the outside of the front row. He's losing more and more places as they go through Madgewick Corner, but it was an excellent start by Richard Mines, and we've now got a separate battle going on for 2nd place. Max Lynn, number 6, has dropped back just a few places. Been a great start for Christian Albrecht. Number 24, that GT40 has moved up into 2nd place.
Has great start. Also, Joe Twyman in the Alva has started on 9th on the grid, and he's already moved his way slightly further up the field. So a great launch from the lightweight Alva, mixing it up with the slightly bigger beast as a lock up further back in the field as they head up the hill now. There is the number 75 Alva of Twyman having a look down the inside. He's got one of the Fords right up behind him as well. That's the number 21 of Andrew Smith, but a great start from one of our 4s. And yes, sorry, Ben.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, look at this. This is a good performance from Ben Mitchell in that little Chevron V8. A lovely little car. It hasn't quite got the straight line speed, but it is very rapid around the corners. And Ben was very quick in qualifying. Let's see how he gets on here as well, because it could be very, very close in these early stages of the race. But some battles going on. We saw Andy Newell, number 16. He's also having a little look up the inside and has made a place there, actually. So Andy Newell in the Chevron V6, just managing to squeeze past Jeremy Cottingham in the GT40. So leaders over the line, and it's gone extremely well.
Members meeting 82, the checkered, the Union flag is dropped. A very good start from the first 2 starters, not good starts at all from Clive Richards outside the front row. We've got the whole field away. The car from the middle of the front row fleetingly takes the lead, and that's Alex Ames. But look to see if he can go up the inside from pole man Sam Wilson. No go. He's dropped back into 2nd, being challenged from the slow starting Lotus of Clive Richards. So he atoned for that poor getaway. The white Lotus with the orange helmet of Chris Goodwin in 4th place, and 2nd place has changed hands. A little Merlin is in the pack as well, hunting down at the front. That's Callum Grant.
Yeah, but a good start from Alexander Ames. He got ahead into Madgewick, and he's been able to control it. Sammy Wilson, oh! Well, he got the Cooper absolutely sideways, got it straightened out before he had to turn them through St Mary's, and he's consolidated that position. But wow, that was a scary moment, but there was a big commitment, and he paid off.
Well, that was the whole bucket of brave pills, but what a brilliant start from Alexander Ames. He's got the lead, but Sam Wilson, we know, has got particular pace. Actually, they're only a 10th of a second apart in qualifying. Callum Grant going really well in that red Merlin with the yellow stripe from nose to tail, and certainly pushing very, very hard to see if he can depose Clive Richards. But Clive in that red Lotus holding on to 3rd place, but you sort of just sense that Callum Grant is going, I'm not hanging around, I'm going to be making a move very soon indeed. So down to Woodcote for the first time, clear lead for Alexander Ames. He's got about a 2nd of an advantage, but you can see Sam Wilson is very, very happy under braking. He's so super late with that green and blue helmet. He's closing in 2nd place. Chris Goodwin down to 5th place. He should be able to fight back.
Well, Sam Wilson in the Cooper pushing very hard. You could even see under braking coming into the chicane. The car wasn't entirely stable, but that's just simply because he was carrying a lot of speed.
The race is underway, the 2nd part of the Hailwood Trophy and the Sheen Trophy, and let's see how this is all going to go. It's a very, very good start once again by Dan Jackson. He takes the lead. Glenn English into 2nd place, and once again it's not been a great start for Michael Russell.
No, Michael Russell very slow off the line, just struggling to get that going, but it's the 2 strokes out front. It is Jackson, and just behind him Glenn English.
Yeah, where is Michael? He's about 6th, I think. We'll work it out as they come round. But the man who was very rapid yesterday, so there you are, Dan Jackson, who took the victory in the end yesterday, but he's under a bit of pressure from Glenn English.
Yeah, he is, and already Russell's up to 4th. So, you know, Russell, he's obviously not had any problems this time. He might have been a bit slow off the start, but he's going really well. Great drone shots there.
Yeah, lovely seeing them from the exit of St Mary's down towards Lavant, where again it's getting into the double apex right-hander and then onto the long back straight where you really pick up the throttle, and straight line speed all the way down here. It's amazing how even the early 1970s 750 powered bikes, there's similar sort of speeds even in a straight line to the 1980s 250s and 350s. No change up front. Dan Jackson's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, it is. So we've got the 350 TZs out front at the moment. And then we got Russell. You can see he's just coming in, very smooth, relaxed style. He's the first of the big 750s.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on, see who's in the quickest of the 250s as well. But Dan Jackson is definitely has just that little bit of command at the moment. As you say, though, I'm keeping an eye on Michael Russell in that 4th place.
Trophy race, the green flag waved at the back of the grid, all is clear. The Union Lab, a very quick drop of the flag, and again Mark Walker slow off the front. Oh dear, the Vauxhall from the outside the front row has not got going. Bad luck for Rob Hobbard, hand in the air, everyone avoids him. But again, another trademark poor start from Mark Walker. He's down in, I think, 6th position. There he is, the white helmet with the red stripe on top, and the number 10 that was so rapid at the start of the first attempt, Les Searle, goes around the outside. So the chase commences. Into the lead goes Julian Majoub, into 2nd place Ben Collins, and 1, 2, 3 there, 7th or 8th position in fact is where Mark Walker has fallen through. Now he's going to play catch up. Good to see the last of the cars gets away.
Yeah, it's such a shame for Rob. You know, he's been going so well this weekend, but perhaps he can do a bit of a Mark Walker and bring himself back into the pack and carve through and make a few positions.
Well, he was very neat, very tidy and very quick yesterday, but now let's see how he sorts it out. And the interesting thing to me in the opening lap is how spaces just seem to open up in front of Mark Walker. I think people know he's coming through. It's written into the script. The car will not get away, but he has huge pace. And he also doesn't just ask twice, he just goes.
No, I think you can hear it as well. I think it's so yeah, no, this is it. This is a Napier of Graham Rankin, car that's been 20 years in the build, and here comes Rob Hubbard trying to make up time.
Right, look, Julian Majoub has already got a clear lead over Ben Collins in the background, and Ben being pushed and challenged in his own right. Then the giant S76 Fiat in the background, and 2 cars behind him. Down in 6th place is Mark Walker on the chart, but Julian Majoub knows how to play this game. It's cat and mouse. He actually, it's not, or is it rabbit and the tortoise? I don't know. Anyhow, he's the rabbit, and he's trying to make his escape. Mark is on the left-hand side of the screen. Yep, he's picked off another person. He's now seeing, is there an inside? Oh no, I'm going to the heat haze behind that giant Fiat. Down to Woodcote he goes, still in 6th place. Good little battling all the way down the field behind, though. Fabulous long shot from Woodcote back towards the Lavant King. But look how our race leader in the Sunbeam Indianapolis, that's Julian Majoub coming through. How big is the gap going to be? 5-6 seconds at the end of the opening lap? Well, maybe slightly fewer. Here comes Ben Collins. We'll see in a second. So.
And we're all set. Lights, the flag goes down, and we've got the first start from Guy Smith that has taken it away very effectively. And Guy Smith from that pole position, but he's already under pressure. Of course, from Max Chilton, we heard how Max is very keen to try and take the victory, slipping and sliding around all over the place. But as you can see, the Ford Lotus Cortinas have a bit of an edge over the Minis at the start. We've got 3 Minis now battling together.
We have, and I wonder if they were going to work together. No, not so much. They're 3 abreast as they come through the kink at Ford Water. What a sight. Only get this at Goodwood. Oh, the banging doors as well. Something comes up on one of the minis in the middle, the number 76, but they've safely made it round and back to the front. Max Chilton has lost a little bit of time to Guy Smith. He's under pressure from Justin Law.
He is, but Nick Swift, as you say, did a fantastic job. Yes, this battle, Max Chilton on the inside of the 2 Ford Lotus Cortinas. I think he's just about to hold on to 2nd place as Justin Law couldn't quite get past, but this is helping Guy Smith make a break. But again, they're side by side in the battle for 2nd place. Through the dust they go from the oil that went down during that out lap originally, and they're still side by side as they head down towards Woodcote Corner. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? Is it going to be Justin Law on the left, or is it going to be Max Chilton? We can hear the brakes working well. They're still side by side, but finally Justin Law gets through.
Yeah, he swoops down, but Max is going to have a look at getting the cut back. Is he going to stick it down the inside of the chicane? No, he's not, but that's allowed the Minis to come back into play. Now they've finished having a squabble of their own, but Guy Smith, I think that was him just having maybe a small lock-up going into Woodcote Corner, just a bit further back. We've got some more battles.
Flag flies, race start, and it's a good start with the Mazda RX-7. Alex Taylor really getting off the line with that rotary motor, but no, the Escort is coming back even better. The RS2000 takes the lead, and in fact the RX-7 loses out even to a Mini.
Yeah, the Mazda got the jump at the start, but just seemed to lose momentum once the cars were rolling down towards Magic. So the RS2000 is taking the lead from the VW Golf, and already the Golf is sort of showing its nose as they come through Ford Water.
So Kerry Michael leading this race at the moment from Jim Morris in second place. But look at what Nick Swift has managed to do in the Mini. No surprises there. The number 60 Mini has got up into third place, having started fifth. We got a Mini in the background spinning off. Hopefully not making contact with anybody else. And that's Rupert Deeth, who is trying to sort it all out, get back on. He is going to be sharing that car with Gordon Shedden.
And also the BMW, and that's the car I think Alex Brundle might be driving, or certainly getting into. That also went off on the exit of St Mary's. So while the Mini went hop, skip and jump over the grass, the BMW likewise found itself running out of road on the exit of St Mary's.
That was very close to things going wrong, but thankfully they managed to sort themselves out very well. We've got the battle for the lead then going on as Kerry Michael in the Escort RS2000 is definitely under pressure from the car that was on pole position. Jim Morris is keeping the pressure on, but you can see all top four cars are close. Well, the Mini has been passed down the straight, presumably, by the RX-7. That's not a great surprise, is it?
No, look who's in fifth place, by the way. That's that little Ford Fiesta that I told you to keep an eye on. So across the start-finish line, the Escort has got the advantage.
About to kick off, it's the Earl Howe Trophy. We're missing Clive Fidgen from the outside of the front row, but Pat Blakeney-Edwards gets the start better than Gareth Burnett in pole. The Blue Alta going backwards, and unfortunately one of the Invictas also not getting away as smoothly as would be liked, and now just about hooking it up, but a fast start, a slow start, and we've got everyone underway with the exception of Clive Fidgen, who was not on the outside of the front of the grid. So let's just flick back to a replay and see how the start looked from the front end. In the middle of the grid, Pat Blakeney-Edwards gets the power down, the little Fraser-Nash TT Rep. The pale blue Alta, which is the most modern car in the field. These are two very small cars in comparison to the larger Lagondas, Invictas, et al. And the Bentleys at the tail end of the grid. But, oh dear, we've already got one car going off, I guess. That one has decided to go no further. Unfortunate losing them, but the field is working away around the opening lap, and now Gareth Burnett is in front of Pat Blakeney-Edwards. He got the poorer start, but he's got that Alta to the front of field. Car number 70 leads the way. Unfortunately, not everyone going to the end of this race. Pat Blakeney-Edwards in second place. Third place is Christoph Cowens in the silver Vauxhall. You can see they're already spacing out a little bit. And then car number 71, fourth, it's the very elegant Invicta low-type chassis. Alan Brown on board. So a brilliant start from the middle of the front row there.
Yeah, and the fastest lap, of course, for Gareth Burnett. He's storming away in the Alta, which was built in 1939. So these, as you just saw briefly on your screen, some British-built pre-World War II sports cars. And this year in the Earl Howe, it's British cars only, and that is to celebrate Johnny Hindmarsh and Louis Font's triumph at the wheel there, Lagonda M5 Rapide, all those years ago.
Yeah, well, it broke the run of Alpha victories, but a really good getaway by Pat Blakeney-Edwards. But Gareth Burnett hooked it up. He was way quicker in qualifying. It must be pointed out, there were oil on the track when they went out. A lot of people were quite cautious, but caution is not Gareth Burnett's middle name. He put it on pole enormously well. One of the cars we saw going off was the car starting from the second row. That was Louis Frankel. We've lost his MGK3. We saw the tail end of the car being parked up. Now we've got the white Invicta starting to show its form. Alan Brown, he started the lap in fourth place and he's hunting, and there's another car parked at the side. I think that was the one that got away very slowly from the grid, car number 14, I think it was. Yeah, it was one of the Invictas parked up. That's not the Invicta, but here's our race leader, Gareth Burnett, the small, nimble, one of only 6 of these fantastic little Alta two-seater sports. Moss Trophy for closed cockpit GT cars of up to 1963. 2 Aston Martins on the front row and the Ferrari alongside. Very even. Brilliant start from Theo Hunt in his Cobra from row 2. That may get into the mix. Everybody pretty much got away. Dario Franchitti has been jumped by Harrison Newey. Theo Hunt's up to third. Alexander Van der Lof in that number 21 Ferrari down into fourth place. A one drive, but very... Oh no, I tell you what, it was Ollie Bryant was held back and eventually waved away all on his own.
Yeah, not only did he get a penalty from losing his third row grid, he got held 10 seconds, but actually Dario Franchitti had just a few thousand too many RPM on the grid, and that allowed Harrison Newey to gain the advantage into Madrick, and he's maintained that advantage now as they come all the way through Ford Water and they begin the entry into St Mary's. So it's Aston, and then the AC Cobra, and first of the Ferraris.
Yeah, wonderful drone shot, sort of running parallel with the cars. They go into the dip out of St Mary's, then up the very slight incline towards Lavant Corner, a place where passing can happen among the front runners, so you're going to be sure they're going to fight in their corner. But a wonderful rolling part of the circuit, neat and tidy. The front. Theo Hunt running very wide indeed in third place. That's the unpainted Cobra with the black roof in behind Alexander van der Lof trying to fight his way back. And then you get midfield. That's the world of the Austin Healey's. That little Lotus 11 bread van in among them.
And then the Lotus 11 bread van is ahead of all the Lotus Elites in the field. Whoa, it runs very wide coming into Woodcote. That's a problem.
Well, that was Theo Hunt. He'd already run quite wide coming out of St Mary's, held it together, but got it wrong down into Woodcote. That would be heart in mouth, but he just managed to drop himself from 3rd to 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th position. Front two runners getting clear. That's the DB4 GTs. And Harrison Newey hanging on by 5/10 of a second.
The Gordon Spice Trophy's underway, and it is a good start from Fred Shepherd from the middle of the front row, but I'm not sure it's quite enough to beat James Thorpe into the first corner, is it? James has actually got off pole position very, very well. He has got the advantage. Fred Shepherd in second place. Everybody else battling away. Jack Young in the Volvo, trying to keep it wide through Madrick, but might have lost a place or two, but we definitely have a battle up front.
Fair play, James Thorpe. Got a brilliant start. We were all saying, watch out for that Mustang. It should charge down quite easily into turn one, but James got perfect launch. I think the Mustang might have got a little bit of wheel spin there, but everyone nice and safely, nice and cleanly through as we head through into the first part of St Mary's, and they'll go left into the second part for the first time.
Yeah, so a very good getaway, as you say, by James Thorpe. He's got that initial advantage over Fred Shepherd. Andrew Smith in third. There's a little move by Mike Whittaker Jr. trying to dive down the inside of Jack Tetley. It didn't quite work, but he is ahead of his dad now. Do you notice? Mike Whittaker Jr. in the Rover is ahead of his dad, who's in the Capri behind, the red Capri. So he didn't have such a great start. We'll have to have another look at that in a moment. But he's on the attack here.
He is. He's putting Jack Tetley under all sorts of pressure. This car finished in second place yesterday. So as they head down into the very tricky braking zone of Woodcote Corner, Jack closes the door, but he's having to defend ever so slightly as they go into the chicane. You can see actually our third place car just dropping off the back, and what a great rear board camera that we're having looking back on Whittaker Jr.
Yeah, this is going to be fun to see how it goes. The flag falls, and away we go. And it's a good start from all three front row. James Thorpe on the outside. Oh, he gets a bit of a wobble there. And Roger Wills has got the edge. Yes, it's Roger Wills in number 124. And it's Bonamy Grimes, who was on pole. He's taking second place. James Thorpe missing out a little bit after a decent early start, but then had a bit of wheel spin. And then a great battle behind. John Spears is running behind in the number 88.
Sam, the number 17 lister that you can just see there, actually got a great getaway, but I think he was boxed in between Roger Willis and James Thorpe, so wasn't able to make moves forward, had to back out of the throttle. He's now battling with the number 78. That's Alex Brundle, a driver that's fast in any car that you put him in. So let's also keep an eye out for Alex Brundle's cars go through the first part of St Mary's, now into the second part with our leaders down up at Lavant.
Absolutely, and it is Roger Wills still with that advantage from the centre of the front row, number 124, that has the lead at this stage, but Bonamy Grimes not far behind. And watch Julian Majoub, there you are, number 22. Lovely to see him making his way, because he started right down at the back of the field. Let's see how far he can take this car as we go through this race. It will be fascinating to see how much progress he makes.
It will, and this car actually ran at Goodwood twice in 1957, so it's had a great experience of going around Goodwood. Whether Julian has had experience going around in this car, that's a question to be had, but I think he is actually the owner, so I certainly wouldn't expect him to have been round this track in it at least. But out in front, Willis is holding the lead from Grimes in second, and then third is Thorpe, slightly further back, 3.2 seconds the difference to Grimes in second.